Even if you get a late start, you can create some amazing perfection. Even if you feel like you're getting left behind, things can definitely turn around. Here's just a real quick story. This was a team building event we had at work. Hopefully you get to do some of these team building events. We've done some really cool ones over the years, being out in Vegas, going out to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, done some really cool some of the touristy things that you see in Vegas, some of the escape rooms and things like that, different like cooking classes and things. This one particular one was more of a creative art project. And with this project, we were given a piece of wood, and I think we needed to, I don't even know if we needed to assemble this thing or not, but it was a flat piece of wood, kind of rough, and the whole idea where there are all these selections of stencils. So you'd stain this wood, and then on top of that stained wood, you would put a really nice stencil and then paint this stencil, basically. So you'd have this rustic, maybe looking piece of artwork. And at this team building, there was no competition in it. There was no judging of it or anything else. It was just a creative outlet. You get to talk with people and hang out, that kind of thing. And each table maybe had 4 people with it. And I'll tell you what, I had flashbacks to like, I think my whole life, almost when you have a writing assignment and you see everybody else at school, they're all writing or they're just making progress and you're just sitting there going, man, I don't even know what to write about. And maybe that's just sometimes can be human nature and things or whatever it was, but I just couldn't. I mean, I'm looking at there's hundreds of stencils. Everybody just basically grabs one and they're already started. So I'm like, hey, if anything, at least I could stain this wood, have that thing done. So at least I'm not way last place. And I've got a good story about last place. That'll be another video I'll share. But I'm just, the clock is just ticking. This time is going by. People almost have their stuff done. I don't know how much time we had left. I wish I would have taken a look at that, but I'm thinking, what would be something that's really colorful? And then I thought about, you see all the cool Day of the Dead type of artwork and designs. I said, wow, that'd be really, really cool, something like that. And just Googling real quick, and I find some really cool ones. And I didn't use the stencils that were there, but the clock is ticking. Time is running out. So I am drawing on this piece of wood, the whole outline of what I saw online, maybe made some tweaks to it, start painting this thing. And being in that perfectionist, if you're in that, it can be tough because you want it just right and it takes time, that type of thing. But everybody, I think they're done. They're hanging out and I am still, I don't know why, because I guess I could have taken this thing home. I don't even know what it was, but there was that pressure of getting it done. Maybe it was reflecting back of different school type things where there was a time, the test is over in the next 15 minutes, whatever it was. But it's just rushing to make this thing happen and make it come together, but wanting to have something nice right at the end of this. And I still remember people were done and I am still crushing through this thing right up to the last minute. I did finish right as everybody was leaving, might have stayed over like 5 minutes or something like that. But the reason I share this is maybe you're someone that's a perfectionist as well, and you're just waiting things to be just right to start or to decide on what it's going to be before you get started. And depending on what that is, in this event, right, it's minutes, tens of minutes, maybe a half hour, but sometimes it could be months or it could be years. Come back to the YouTube channel thing. It could be 5-10 years some people thought of starting a channel, or what that first video is, or whatever it is. But even if you get a late start to it, if you're passionate about it, you can make up a lot of ground in a lot of time. So in that example of this artwork piece we're putting together, it wasn't to win a contest. It wasn't to impress the rest of the group. And I think back to when I was younger, I used to like to draw and do all those things. So maybe that's why I felt like there was more pressure to see if I still had any skill set in that whole space. But I felt like, man, if this thing was judged, I think I would have did all right. I was just like, man, I was just crushing on this thing. And I probably had, compared to, not that I didn't have, but from the time I started versus the rest of the group, probably less than half the amount of time to work on this thing because I was so stuck in that perfectionism, that deciding versus getting it going. And if you watched enough YouTube content, you've probably seen some of those examples. I don't know the exact details, but it was maybe in a college setting of two groups. And in a semester, one group was told they need to create as many clay pots as they possibly could in a semester, and the other group was told they need to only create one perfect pot. And at the end of the semester, when they were judged, the people that won, that had the most amazing artwork or pottery, were the ones that put in the reps and just were creating as many as they could versus the one making that perfect one. I think that's probably the best analogy for that. So if you're stuck in that perfection mode, and I'll give you an example. These videos, for me, being a perfectionist, it was very hard to leave errors in the videos. Maybe something that was showing up in the background, or you probably catch some of these where YouTube or the camera app, the native app, wouldn't necessarily zoom crazy in on my face, just way in and way out. And no matter what I did, I could not get the settings right. Ended up switching to the Blackmagic app to record these. But I just let those videos go. And if I'd not, I wouldn't be into 20 videos or so. I'd probably be in the first one or the first three. So sometimes you have to let that perfectionism go. And when you do, and you're aware of it and you notice it, oh man, it's such a great feeling. It's such a great feeling, like to give you an example, to look at a video and go, man, that audio is slightly low. I'm still learning audio. I'm just going to post it. Or man, there's some piece of paper hanging in the background or some goofy thing in the background. Doesn't look right, out of place. Just let it go. And once you do that, it is great because you have momentum, where I think us as perfectionists, we lack momentum trying to get perfect, so there aren't a lot of reps to show. But once you do, and that becomes who you are, and you just put it out there, man, it is the most amazing feeling because you can reflect on who you once were and who you are today. So don't let that perfectionism hold you back. And for the reveal, here is that artwork piece, the Day of the Dead project. And the thing that was kind of a bummer, since I was so slow at starting this damn thing, everybody had been done for so long, they couldn't wait to bail. So half the people didn't get to see it. But I was so proud of this thing. But anyway, this is what it looks like. See if we get it here captured, hopefully good here in the camera. I don't know how high I need to hold this thing up or where, but this is the thing here. Of course, it was somebody else's design, and then I just had to hand draw it and paint in the colors and things like that. But anyway, have an amazing day. Put in the reps. Get started. Even if you are late to the game, you can still finish strong. Have an amazing day. Thanks again.